So, the topic of discussion for this episode of Trippin' with Holly and Susan is comparing yourself to other people. And we've seen that a lot in the writing world where, people will say, well, that person started writing at the same time as I did, and they have written X number of books and they've won these many awards and yada, yada, yada. But, this concept applies no matter what walk of life that you're in. It's the idea that your journey is your own, and comparing yourself to other people only basically leads to grief,
Oh, and as a writer, I love Susan Gable books. They're amazing. I could not, even when I'm writing an emotional book, the way I tell this story is ever so much different than the way Susan would tell that same story.
Exactly.
There was a thing on Harlequin years back where they gave a bunch of authors the exact same
premise.
sentence.
Yeah.
And it was, I forget, like, Johnny, I thought you were dead. And being dead doesn't, I forget how, so everybody started at the exact same place, and then everybody spun it someplace else. I was supposed to make it as a romantic comedy, someone wrote it as a historical, and they were all, they were all so different at the end of them, because we're all so unique. So I will never write a Susan Gable book, but Susan will never.
Nope, never write a Holly Jacobs book. And that's actually, that also relates to the idea that, well, they took my idea. Well, the execution of the idea is going to be way different. That is a very different thing from actually plagiarizing someone and copying their actual words. How many Secret Baby books are there? Right? But they're all different.
Convenience. There's one.
Tons of stories with the same kind of basic tropes, but they're different. But the biggest thing is, that there is that idea, and there is such a thing as you can be really happy for a friend who has had something wonderful happen to them, and at the same time you can wish that thing happened to you without being. There's a difference between that kind of a thing and really envying somebody else, and to the point where you become a negative Nelly and you're coveting what they have. There's a big difference between, wow, that is, I am so happy for Holly. She got that thing, she got that award, and I'm really, really happy for her. I wish it could have happened for me too, but I'm still really happy for her. That
it's different. Yeah, it is different. And,
yeah.
And I think too that it's really important as a writer, but just in life in general, the way I do things is never going to be the way somebody else does them. And the way I do them today could be very different from the way I do them tomorrow or next week or next month, because we all change, we all grow, hopefully. And our point of view changes. So I think that idea of just accepting this is where I am, I'm doing the best I can do. And like, we both have been putting out some of our earlier books, have been re-released. And I hope if you pick up an early book, you think, oh, that was really cute, and I can see some of what Holly becomes in later books. If you picked up a later book and didn't think I'd grown at all from one of those early books, then I'm probably doing something wrong. You're not doing something right.
Exactly. You're not doing something right. I actually remember picking up and finding in a garage sale one of Nora's early ones. and I opened it up and I started to read, and I was like, because you could see the growth that had happened from that early book to her later books, and she is just amazing. But you could see
the whisper. I've read those early ones too. The whisper of
right.
the author.
You could see right. It's still her voice, but there was growth, and again, being gracious. It kind of relates back to we did a video recently on manners, and I tell a story. I was up for a Rita Award, which, if you don't know, that's like romance's Emmy Award. That's our big, and it's a golden statue and everything. And I was up for a Rita Award, and I didn't win. And afterwards, I went up to the winner, who was Wendy Lindstrom, and you should check out her work. I went up to Wendy, and I shook her hand, and I congratulated her, and I told her, good job, well done. And then I just said to her, I'm like, can I just hold it for a minute and pretend. And Wendy, being a gracious winner, said, of course you can. And so I held the statue for a minute and pretended that I had actually won, and then I gave it back to her. And you know, that actually was the start of a very wonderful friendship. After I got home from the conference, I got my hands on Wendy's book and I read it, and it was just fabulous. And I emailed her and I said, you know, I would have voted for your book over mine. I mean, it was that amazing. And, you know, and the other thing was, if you're going to lose, you want to lose to something that's really damn good.
Something
you know?
you really like.
Yeah, something that was really, really good. And it was. And like I say, that started a really wonderful friendship. And that was because I was gracious to say, and she was gracious. So,
and
you know,
think envy can really be a soul killer. And
absolutely.
as a writer,
yes,
I think it can really kill your creativity.
Yep.
If you're looking at everybody else and saying, oh,
they have that, they have that,
and I don't have that.
I don't have this.
I really work hard not to compare my writing journey with anybody else. I do what I can. I do what I love. I do the best I can. I'm juggling a lot of balls, but I try not to drop them too often. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the books I put out, and I'm lucky. I'm really so lucky that I've had so many wonderful people follow me, and regardless of what I'm writing, they come along for the journey with me. So I understand that I'm blessed in that way. So I think that,
and again, you can't say she was given anything. This lady has worked damn hard for everything that she has achieved, and you know, so she is a workhorse. And Nora Roberts, you can't say that she's been given. She works darn hard. How do you think she produces so many books? She works darn hard. So, you know, I have a T-shirt. It says, "Envy is evil." And really, because I mean, that's kind of the thing. And so don't compare yourself to other people. You're on your own journey, and you know, you're going to get out of things what you put into them. And yet there is an element of luck sometimes, and you know, sometimes you got to be in the right place at the right time, but you got to keep your eyes and your ears open to know when those things are. And if you're and here's the other thing, you know, if you're nice and gracious and kind to other writers, and an opportunity comes up, they're gonna want to tell you about that opportunity. Where if you're a jerk, sorry, nobody wants to tell you about, you know, a nifty opportunity that they just heard about. So don't compare yourself to other people, and you know,
do the best you can.
Be nice.
There you go.